Hey, this is Paul Payton with Focal Splash, and I wanted to see if I can put this image into this scene. She's got these sunglasses and this look on her face, and her mom wanted to have her put in a beach scene. But, there's some technical difficulties here. There's not much of her here, and, the top of her head's missing, and so it would be limited where you'd just be able to see the beach back here and over here. So I decided to go ahead and try and throw a hat on her, which is going to give her more space above and beyond to see the beach. And so we'll see how that works out. There's the beach scene, and this is her. So what I'm going to do is use the quick select tool and just start selecting her out. You see how that happened? But you just come out here and remove that using the Alt key, and then add this, and remove this, and add her ear back in. And let's go into select and mask from here, toggling the background with X. This little piece in here, and let's put her on white by pressing the T key to see what we're doing. Hitting W for the quick select tool. And just select that part out. Let's see what happens with the quick select tool there. Alright. I wanted to pull down to see the top of her head. It's kind of funny. Let's hit R, and we'll try and use this refine edge tool. And since there's not much of an edge, it's probably just going to blur the edge, which is really what we need in this situation because the edge is blurry. You don't want to create a sharp, crisp edge on an image that has a blurry edge. It just doesn't make sense. And so this edge is blurry. There's something going on here. Okay, right there. I'm going to try and add in this little loop here just for consistency. Alright, and so we need a little bit of her ear here. And maybe a little bit more of this hair right there. Something like that. So for now, that's a good selection. See, I have feather up, so it's feathering the edge, and which is what you need with a low depth of field image. And I brought the edge in, so the feather is on the inside of the edge, not feathering the outside. But feathering the inside, like that. And we want to create an output of new layer with layer mask. That way, she's up on her own layer, and we still retain this information out here in case we need to add a little bit of the edge someplace where it's missing. But I don't think we'll have to. So select here, tapping V for the move tool, because V stands for move somehow, and moving up over to here, putting it right there. Yay, team. I might just make her a little smaller because I want to see what happens when I throw that hat on her. Probably going to have to add something here to make her shoulder look like it's complete. Worry about that in a minute. I have this hat from a place called Pixel Squid, where you get a bunch of different 3D objects. It's very cool. Here's the hat. Just click there. Brings the hat in. We can turn the hat, because it's a 3D object, any way we want. Move the hat over, make it high res. We can make it bigger, of course. Is that going to be a good angle? I think that might be a pretty good angle right there. So we drop it down a little bit. We're not going to want the shadow. Control T, making it bigger. Tilting it a little bit. Tilting it a little more. Down. Alright. It's a little big now. I like it. All right, so we have the hat in place. Let's make it high resolution now. That looks better. And then, well, let's go in here and just embed this. So Pixel Squid doesn't have to keep tabs on it. Okay. Now we have the object we want. And let's just throw some shadow underneath that, creating a new layer below it, and painting with black. And we're just going to want a little bit of shadow under the hat to say, hey, that hat's really there, right? All right, lower the opacity of that. There we go. I think that'll do it. Just like that. Let's clip this that I just created by holding down the Alt key and clicking in between them, and that'll just leave the shadow on her and not on the scene behind her. Okay. Now I think we have a more complete little girl there. That's on her layer. I'm going to hit Control J, just make a copy of her layer and turn it off, just to save it. And then, since we're going to mess with some pixels on here, I'm going to hit the S for the clone stamp tool, selecting here, and I'm just going to clone stamp some more shoulder out here. Yay. Just like this. Just see if that's a believable shoulder. And painting with black on the layer mask with the brush. Whoops. Just get rid of that right there. Alright. It's a soft edge anyway. And then going back to this layer, clone stamp tool and just stamp a little right there. I think that's believable. On this side, we'll just add a little bit of sleeve. Nobody's gonna know, right? And there we have it. I'm gonna put here's the shadow. So I'm just gonna paint with black at 20%. And just darken this edge just a little bit. See if I can't make it believable. I think that looks good. Okay, so there we have it. We can grab her and all this and hit Control G and make it into a group, Control T, and I think let's try flipping her around here, because we have the palm tree on that side, so we can balance the composition here a little bit, make her a little bigger. Like that, and hit enter. Let's look at this hat and shadow together. I don't know if we'll be able to do it together because it's clipped, but let's just try, and then Control T, and I want to tip it this way a little bit more, bring it down just a little bit. I like it. Alright, you may not be able to see this, but there's a line right here. Oh, that did kind of mess up the shadow on her shoulder. So let's fix this. E for the erase tool. And I'm just gonna, it's erasing at 20% opacity. We didn't want our shoulder to look dirty. Just wanted a little light. There we go. Alright. You may not be able to see this in the video, but there's a little line that runs up and down here, and that is from her layer mask. Holding Alt and clicking on the layer mask will reveal it. Sometimes when you layer mask something and move it over, I think these edges, Photoshop doesn't know how to handle them very well. So painting with black at 100%, just going to click here. That's at 100%. There we go. And then holding the shift key, click here, draws a line. Let's do the same thing like that. And I'll click here, holding the shift key, draws a line. It's easier. I can hardly draw a straight line. You see that? It's wavy. But sometimes it's easier just to draw a straight line using the shift key. And then clicking on this, that's gone now. And one more thing here. On this layer, let's try color match. So image, adjustments, color match. This is one of my favorite tools. And this is the document, and that's the layer. And just bring it down to about 80. We just want to give her just a little bit. Maybe 85. Alright. We're trying to cast light on her from the day. I like that. Okay, so Control Z, that's before, that's after. It's just got a little more matching the color here. I think Mom is going to like it. Some information about adding shadows, using Pixel Squid, cutting out low depth of field subject, and that's it. If you have any questions, let me know. If you'd like to follow me, you can follow me at Focal Splash on YouTube and or Facebook. Thank you.